Bottom line is that we have to have sunshine to regulate a bunch of different processes. I am going to reference Michael Holick's research. When people go without sun, let's say they're in prison for 6 weeks in a dark room, they'll have some serious complications that the list is so long. And the only real thing they're missing out on, besides, of course, a bunch of other psychological issues that go with that, is sunshine. So sunshine not only for your skin is important and its exposure, but also to help you with daily energy patterns. Where it comes into question was people having some issues with overexposure of the sun. It has to be enough exposure on your body that doesn't create any deleterious effects. And for different people, they're going to have a different defense mechanism of how much sun they can have. And that's largely based upon your lineage and your history, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But everyone needs to have their exposure on the skin. It will cause disease if you don't have it. So when we use the concept of getting in the sun and walking daily in it, or just having sun exposure, we know that the benefits of sun exposure, not to the point that you get burning, it has so many positive effects to energy rhythm, beneficial hormones that are created underneath the entire system. So there are individuals that are lighter skinned individuals that need to have a specific kind of exposure that they know that they will be really sensitive to that, and they just have to moderate exactly how much they need to have for total skin exposure to get the positive benefit effects as opposed to the deleterious effects. And there's obviously a sweet spot for that. Sun exposure for some people, as you can imagine, like on my skin, being from Canada and then coming to AZ, I can handle more sun exposure now over a period of time because my skin changes color or just adapts to that sun exposure as it is. Ironically, I probably need to or can have a half an hour to 60 minutes of sun exposure each day, let's say 60% of my body, and still, based upon all the tests that I have done, I'll get north of 65 to 70 on a hydroxy vitamin D score, which when I came down from Canada, my score was 30. You just have to take into consideration through trial and error how much sun exposure you can get that's going to be beneficial for you. And then, just be careful of too much sun exposure. People need to have optimal sun exposure almost every day, or as much as they can. Individuals who are 5 months in gray up in Canada, they can travel to Mexico during the year. They may be able to pick up some really positive aspects of sun exposure without burning for a week. And they can actually have a big, let's call it a half-life of what that sun does to them for their actual health when they go back. It's the child out playing for 3 hours in the sun that burns their upper back that may cause some long-term effects, but that's not what we're saying. We're saying is that you need to have sun exposure up to the point where it feels like you're going to change a little bit in tone or color, and that's when you may want to apply sunscreen. Individuals who just live in northern Canada, where I was from, that we would get 2 months of summer throughout the year, which would be, truly an aspect where you're having long days in true sun, and we would be burnt for 2 months. I kid you not. That amount of time that we had to try to get as much sun exposure as possible, just based upon our bodies saying we need that for the next 10 months being in a climate that's almost like a hibernation. You just get as much sun exposure on close to 50% of your body per day, but that sun exposure, even up to the point where it's not going to help you tan, is going to have massive health benefits for you.